in New Home Star, we partner. Perfect. In my brokerage, we actually are all over the nation. So we represent and we partner with builders all across the United States. So I was actually in Colorado and I relocated here. So I am, maybe?
Point this direction.
Do I have to do like a little spin with it, twirl?
You might have to get a little bit closer.
It's okay.
I can hit it.
Okay, perfect. That's fine.
I
I'll
just-
show you next slide.
Wait.
Okay. No, you're okay.
Oh, it's not working.
Did that.
Oh my goodness.
Always when we need it to cooperate with us.
Okay, well I will be the clicker then.
That's okay. It's a good thing I'm a talker anyways. So I relocated, like I said, from Colorado about 2 years ago. So I represented another builder in Colorado called Challenger Homes. And so I'm still partnered with New Home Star, so still the same brokerage. I've been in real estate for 10 years. Out of the 10, I did 4 in resale, so what you guys are currently going through. Well, I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, so I talk a lot about the psychological effects, the emotions, all the things of our jobs. I actually love that part of it. I spent 2 years in property management. I did not love the psychological effects that had on me, so I decided to get out of that very quickly. The stars aligned. I was on Indeed one day because I hated my life in property management, and I saw this company called New Home Star. No idea what they did, but I saw I could earn a great earning opportunity, and so I applied and passed cross, and I ended up in new construction, and I have not looked back since. I absolutely love the process. When I was in resale, I had a few clients go through the new construction process, and I just fell in love with it. So I was like, how do I do this as a living? So I've been with New Home Star for 4 years. 2 of that was with my previous builder, and 2 of that has been with Garmin here in Central Pennsylvania. So I'm still learning the lay of the land, so I love connecting with all the locals for all the local spots and history and those types of things. So please feel free to teach me as I kind of teach you on new construction. So please feel free to stop me at any point in time to ask questions. I want this to be a dialogue, not just me standing here for however long preaching to you about construction. Okay? All right. Next slide here. So things that we'll cover today. Why new construction? So the opportunity for new agents and for resale agents. Know about the area, builder differentiation, community offerings, floor plans and home sites, and the sales process. So I'm going to give you guys insight to what we train our agents on, so you better understand when you show up to our model home and they start asking a bunch of questions, you're like, why the heck are they touching on area? That makes no sense to me. I thought we were here to look at homes. All of that starts to make sense for you guys there. Now, before I dive deeper into it, I kind of want to get a read of the room because that will help me kind of tailor my PowerPoint here. How many of you have been in real estate for 6 months or longer? Okay. A year or longer? 2 years or longer? Okay. All right. What about new construction? Have any of you guys done anything with new construction, even just showing up to a model to walk through a model home?
I showed 1735 Glory Drive.
Okay.
Just one of you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Outside of that, I mean, that's going in. Did you talk with a representative or did you do that through showing time?
Through segment.
Okay.
Michael has
Yeah.
a list.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Okay. So outside of that,
Sold the Burke's home.
yeah. Okay. Outside of that, any other new construction experience?
Not as a
Did.
realtor, but my own home.
For your own home? Okay, so you went through that process?
Yeah.
Who did you buy with, if you don't mind me asking?
Landmark.
Landmark? Okay. Yeah. We're very similar in process.
I figured.
To Landmark.
Look at this, yep.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So with that, we'll go into the next slide here. So starting off as a new agent when it comes to new construction.
Okay, yes,
Maybe?
okay,
All right.
all right.
So first thing is understanding who's around you, because the more resources that you have, the more knowledge that you have, the better you're able to help guide and funnel down for your clients, right? You guys, depending on where you're overseeing, I'm learning that some agents, they only stay in certain counties. Some are like, I will drive where the money is, even if that's on the other side of the river. I'm learning about the river as well. And so a bunch of different things. So understanding what's around you and what your buyer is looking for. Ryan, you said, hey, earlier, I want to make sure I can read through everything, I have everything ready to go and memorize. So understanding who your builder reps are. So you guys are not supposed to be the person that has every single community for every single builder understood underneath your belt. That's our jobs. Our job is, hey, I have this buyer that's looking in this area. What do you guys have? But I always say I recommend going and just starting and finding that one person. And then from there, they can help funnel you, if they are good at representing their builder, to other people within their team. So understanding and starting off with somebody. And then knowing your network. So again, finding 1 or 2 trusted agents within the area for that specific builder. Do you have, let's say, Landmark, Garmin, Burks, all within a certain area? Like I know Carlisle, right? They're pretty big in that area. You have the Lebanon, Anvil area. There's a handful of us over there as well. So understanding the different pockets of where you guys are doing most of your work or where most of your buyers or clients are looking at. Oh,
Sorry,
no, you're good.
I'm sharing the screen to so everybody can read it, so I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
If you want to stay on that slide still. Yep. It's not up here. I'm not sure. Oh, perfect. I gave you more than the middle of the room. All right. So being and you guys can see over here, wonderful. Okay. Being the connector. So you guys are busy. You're out doing open houses. Maybe you're connecting and you're doing videos. So you're not physically able to be there. But hey, I have this buyer that's looking in this area. They're probably going to stop by the model on this day at this time. I just wanted to give you a heads up, right? So still being the connector. And hey, I know this builder rep in this area. I can go ahead and schedule a showing for you. Even if I'm not there, we have a great relationship. We can go ahead and connect offline for everything that you're looking at. So again, just being that resource, even though you're not going to have the depth to everything. So what I'm challenging is more of the width that you guys need to know, and then your agents and those builders will have the depth for you. Does that make sense? Okay. So other places to find builder information, you can look on the MLS, you can look even a simple Google search, hey, what are new construction areas around me? And then going and driving through growth areas, and then again, your builder reps. Hey, I have a buyer that's looking in York. I actually just got done with a foreclosure down there. What do you guys have coming in that area at all? We are very nosy when it comes to the builders and certain land opportunities that we're possibly be able to sell. So we love to chat about it, even if we're not supposed to chat about it. All right, next slide. Whenever you're ready. Yeah. So I love to go over the differentiation between new construction and resale. You get this all the time from clients. So why would I want new construction over resale? There's a handful of different things that we talk through when we have a buyer sitting in front of us that are looking at resale homes versus new construction. The first thing that I want to start off with is your market share, right? So if you hear a lot of times, oh, new construction is more expensive than resale. Certain areas that is true. So I recommend doing your own research on the MLS. You can filter out for anything that I use 2020. Anything that's 2020 or newer, what's the pricing of those resale homes compared to what a builder is offering? If you notice that you're 20 to 30,000 higher, let's say maybe on the builder's website, okay, that gap there, you know you're going to be roughly around $150 more in your monthly payment. So we go into a lot of the financials of it. So in theory, 20 to 30,000 does seem like a lot on the overall purchase price, but when you narrow it down to what they're paying out of pocket right then and there, they're pretty comparable when it comes to overall costs. And then we even have something called your energy efficient rating, the HERS score, which I will get analytic. I love math. I love equations. I promise I won't go through that in this training for you guys today. But with that, better energy efficiency ratings. And so with that, it can really come down to pennies between the two, depending on what you're looking at. So I recommend doing some research. But some different areas, builder warranties, right? So with that, you typically have a structural warranty, a mechanical warranty, and then a manufacturer warranty. So then your buyer has peace of mind when they buy the home. Hey, everything is covered for X amount of time. I know that you can purchase warranties as a resale agent too for your clients, if that's what they want to look at. Sometimes it's not going to cover fully everything, and depending on the age of the home, there might be some restrictions with that. Other things, choosing your basically everything, depending on what your client, if they're looking to move in within the next 30 to 45 days, or if they have an extended timeline. when you go to see a builder, there's two options. You have what's called inventory homes, which those are typically going to be done sooner. The builder does that, so if you have clients that can't go the 7-8 months to build, they have something ready for you. Or if you have a buyer that, hey, I want to personalize everything and maybe go through the process, I have the 7 to 8 months, I have a home to sell, I'm not quite ready to move right now, waiting for the kids to get out of school, whatever it may be for their timeline, then you have that option as well. So I see a lot of people go with new construction for that reason. We talked a little bit on energy codes, technology systems. So some builders will offer like the smart home packages or updated electrical. Everything is new and up to code. Central PA, I was very ignorant when I moved here. I thought of New York. Oh my goodness, I'm going to the city. And then I took a visit out here and I was like, what? They have Amish? That's still a thing. In Colorado, we had a lot of Amish in this town called West Cliff. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that. But with that, I mean, homes here historically is one of the most historic places on the map for the United States. So I'm sure you guys are showing some homes. Hey, we need to update this, the electrical here. So with that, you have updated codes for everything. Predictable costs. This is something that I love to educate on as well, is you know exactly what you're getting into at the price when it comes to the options out there picking out. And then closing costs, no bidding wars as well. I'm not sure, you guys seeing bidding wars going on right now? Yeah? So your client comes in, I want this floor plan on this home site. If it's available, it's theirs. They don't have to worry about bidding against other clients or other buyers. And like I said earlier, pricing is similar to resale. Build timeline is set depending on the builder, so I recommend making sure that you talk that, hey, do you guys guarantee a closing date or do you have a window when you're closing? With Garmin, we offer a guaranteed closing date. If I'm telling you we're going to close on May 15th, you're done on May 15th. For the builder that I worked for in Colorado, it wasn't. It was a window. Hey, we'll let you know about 45 days out when we go ahead and close on your home. So just make sure you're asking that question as well. Okay. Any questions on that? Any difference of experience from what you guys have gone through personally so far? No? Okay.
Ready for the next one? Okay.
All right. So opportunity, what does this mean for you when you come through the door? I heard a lot about writing agreements. How many of you have anxiety writing contracts? I was like, just
None
okay.
of you? Come on.
I know.
You all better have.
Yeah. Those power
I
agreements,
hope you all
man.
were like, thinking about that.
Listen,
I'm
I still have
having it right
anxiety
now.
right now. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess it up.
Well, those power agreements, they're tricky. The power agreement covers everything under the sun that you could possibly need for a property, right? You walk in, it's going to require something different than maybe a different property that you saw previously. The great thing with new construction is they handle all the agreements for you. All you have to do is provide your buyers information. More times than not, they're going to use their own builder agreements. Some builders will also use the PAR agreement, which will be familiar to you, which is great. So with that, I say concierge service with low premium. That means you come in, we take care of everything for you all the way down to the paperwork. Our internal team, they house everything, they get scheduled for you, all of that good stuff. And then commission paid. So every builder is going to offer a different co-op rate, so make sure you're asking what that co-op rate is. It may not be the full 2.5%. Some of it might be on the base price, so before your clients go in and add options. Some it might be after the fact, what your final price is and so forth. So Garmin, we do a 2% on the final purchase price. We actually changed that last year from feedback from agents. Hey, my buyer's going in and they're putting $100,000 worth of options in their home. I would like to get paid commission on that. So we went ahead and we took that feedback and changed it. That every builder is going to be a little bit different.
Yay!
Yeah.
I closed a Burke's home with less than 1%, and I was really mad.
Oh, yeah.
I was really mad about it.
Yeah.
Called everyone home.
I believe it. I believe it. It's hard when you guys are helping filter and showing and not getting paid essentially the full amount. So yeah, make sure that you're researching what the co-op rate is. Sometimes too, those things can be negotiable. I'm not going to tell you that, but we'll go ahead and cut that out of the film. So just make sure that you're still always asking. I get asked all the time. Sometimes if it's an inventory home that we want to get sold, there might be a little bit more negotiation on that compared to somebody who's building. Those types of things. Just make sure that you're talking to that Okay. What I get told or I get asked more times than not, hey, we're not doing major discounts on this home. Can I go ahead and have more agent commission? And so with that, from the builder lens, they don't typically bake in agent commission per house. They normally look at the revenue for the year and they're going to estimate, hey, I anticipate I'm going to be paying, let's say, 100 realtors this year. I'm going to budget out this much. And so if you get told that, that's the reasoning behind it of, hey, it has nothing to do with discounts. If you have an agent, don't have an agent, we've already considered this into our budget. So just be mindful of that too. Inventory advantage. So with this here, with the low inventory in the resale market, builders, that's kind of where we're ramping up the inventory, right? So there's more selection with new construction. That can be a little bit scary, one for the market and for us as builders. So make sure that we're looking at inventory across the board. And again, price point wise, if you only see that you're $10,000 to $30,000 off swing, you know, there's a lot of different incentives right now between rate buy downs to closing costs to help get in at an affordable price point. Okay. We already went over personalization, power of warranty, building the client trust. And so this is where sometimes, I guess by raise of hands, when you guys are going through your discovery calls with people, are you going over just resale or new construction? What does that look like for you now?
It's just resale for me.
Okay.
Well, this is opening the door right now, so.
Yeah, this is changing
Okay.
that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone, our tour on Saturday.
Yes.
Let's not forget about the tour on Saturday.
Which I'll go over a little bit.
Yeah, well, I have to remind them several times.
I didn't see an address on it.
It's on there. It's on there.
Yeah.
She'll give it to you too.
Yeah.
So
What time?
11. Yeah, you have to get up before 12 on Saturday.
No, I got boots today.
I don't care.
Where do we
No.
get that? Where do we get the information for Saturday?
She's gonna share the address, but it is in the,
Oh.
it is on the calendar event. Yep.
You guys will be meeting with Alyssa. She's our selling sales manager for what I call the west side. So the west side of the river. We have 2 representatives. I oversee the east side of the river, so we can argue which side's the best side. We do this all the time in our sales meeting.
West side.
I was gonna say, I'm feeling some tension here. But yeah, so you'll be meeting with her. She's a lot of fun. So I'll talk more about that as we get down to that. And then referral pipeline. And so what I see more times than not, our agents, we do what are called SAMI. That stands for Sales Associate Marketing Initiatives. So you guys are talking through different things, your videos. Hey, I met somebody at a baby shower and I was handing out my cards. I was networking with somebody that just off the street, right? So we have kind of similar ideas with that too. And so when you have clients and you're referring them, hey, I need to maybe upsize in my home, or I'm looking to downsize in my home, you still have a great referral pipeline. And people who build, they typically talk to one another. They want to get to know their neighbors, especially if they're in beginning phases. So I see a lot of great referral opportunity from new construction. All right, we can go to the next slide. Now going over and giving you a peek into what we do for our trading. So we always start with called top of funnel. And so Sarah, you can tell me if you guys go over anything similar with your training here. So we always want to make sure we have a rule. If we have somebody that is agreeing with the area, they want to be in the area, they like the builder that they're viewing, and they like the community that they see, then we have a buyer. You have somebody that agrees to all these things, and you know that you're going to go ahead and get them closer to saying yes on the contract. So we always start with area. Biggest reason for area, I'm sure you guys, if you haven't gone through it yet, you will. You start with one area. Hey, I want to be in this school district. Okay, great. We'll go ahead and see every home under the sun in this school district, and then you get a random text at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, I just saw this one pop up on Zillow. Can we go look at it? Well, it's not in the school district you said that you wanted to. It's okay. You know, it's at a great price. Maybe we can swing it, right? So we do a lot of what we call discovery up front on the area. What do you know about the area? What do you care about in your area? We want to make sure that it's relating back to your client and their needs. Do they like to go fly fishing? That's a really big thing. Do we know that we have fly fishing right down the road? What about the mom and pop shops that they care about? Maybe they relocated from a really small town and that's important to them. So we want to make sure that we're honing in on the area for you guys, not just the home. We really care about the lifestyle and what we have to offer. So you'll be able to see that to different builders that you go to, who goes in depth to those things. But when it comes to new home start and our training, this is what we go through. Builder. What makes Garmin a different builder compared to a Landmark, to a Burks, those types of things? Every community has what's called a unique selling proposition. So, hey, by buying in this community, you're going to get X, Y, and Z from us and the builder. So I know with your experience, like with Landmark, we can be very similar. There are some differences. For example, construction-wise, Garmin, we build with 2x4s, and we do that on purpose for the installation. I won't go into the nitty-gritties of that. Versus Landmark, they build with a 2x6 construction, right? So if you have a buyer that's highly analytical, they've either built before or they're worried about, let's say, overall costs, you want to get their utility payments lower, right? All those different things, that's where we can start plugging and playing and really hitting that.
Well, I didn't say it was the unique what?
Unique selling proposition. If you go into any Garmin community and you say, hey, tell me your unique selling proposition, they're going to smile so big and be like, Morgan talked to you, didn't she? Yeah. So, and then community, again, hitting on the lifestyle. Does your client care if there is a train track around? Do they care if there's a park because they're expecting or they're going to be growing their future family? All of those things. And then community to neighborhood. How we differentiate that is if you have a large like master plan community with many different small sections. I don't see a ton of that here. It's more community and neighborhood are combined. But then we get into lifestyle, how they actually, again, care about living in the area, the home. Then we go into floor plans. Then we go into features of the floor plan. Then we go all the way to home site and then terms. You're going to have a lot of clients that come in and they want to start all the way down at home site. Hey, I saw this law. I want this law all the way back here. But we haven't even gone over pricing yet. They don't know if they like the area. What if they don't want to build with Garmin? All these different things. So you'll see our agents transition them back up, answer their question. Hey, what do you know about the area? Is this your first time visiting Garmin? Do you know anything about us? Just to give you guys context, the reason that I'm doing that is more times than not, realtors can get a little frustrated when we start asking these questions. We want to make sure it's a good fit, right? Just as you guys are interviewing us, we are very transparent if we don't think we're going to be the builder for you. And that's okay. We don't want to waste anybody's time. So let's take a good first appointment, spend an hour or two together to make sure that we're hitting all the things. And then your client can make an educated guess at it. Okay? So yeah, we train a lot on the psychological and being able to tie everything back to more than just the home itself. Questions? Okay. So we can go to the next slide. I'll breeze through some of these because I talked a lot already through them. So things that we go over, school districts, commute and connectivity. Is your client commuting a lot right now? How close do they live to work now? What do they do for work? We do ask a lot more personal questions. We want to get to know your client at the end of the day too. We care about building a community, not just selling a home. I mean, the paycheck is nice, don't get me wrong. But again, our agents don't want to waste their time either if we don't think it's going to be a good fit. So it's mutually beneficial. Retail and dining, growth trajectory. This is a big one, right? If I have somebody, I'm currently representing a 55 plus community. I have some people come in, I don't want to be in this huge master plan community. Great. I'm going to have this many units around me. I'm not seeing anything zoned for this area, right? So being able to speak on that. And then comparable sales, again, knowing resale versus new pricing will be beneficial. All right, next one. What makes this builder the right choice? Reputation, track record, years in the market, design and customization. Some buyers want to fully customize a home. Hey, I like this floor plan, but I want to move this here, move that there, move that there. Knowing what builders offer what and the reasoning behind that. The construction quality, so I kind of went into the 2x4s versus 2x6s, and then financials and incentives. So our team with Garmin, we're trained to talk through both the purchase price and payment. So you'll hear a lot of that for us. Hey, you're telling me you want to be at $500,000. Is that because it's $500,000 because you spoke with the lender and you got pre-approved for that? Or is it you want to be at a certain monthly payment? Well, I like this certain monthly payment. Okay, let's talk through that payment, because what we don't want is to take through the whole process. They go talk with the lender and they're like, I can't afford a $3,500 monthly payment. And they were thinking $500,000 back in COVID era where their payment's going to be $1,200 a month. It happens, unfortunately. And so as agents, when we connect with you, hey, was there a payment that your client was looking around? That's why we're doing that. We want to make sure that we're setting the right expectations. Okay. Next one. And again, so the lifestyle, not just the home. So the amenities in the community, if anything, HOA, what is covered in HOA? Most of our communities and most builder communities are going to have an HOA. So what are the rules and restrictions on that? What are the benefits and what are the cons? You guys will know your clients of an HOA. And then master plans. So again, future phases. Getting earlier into communities is a better lower price point. As builders work their phases, they want to make more margin, right? So we're going to increase our prices as we go. And so understanding what the overall master plan development looks like, maintenance value, so again, lawn care, exterior upkeep, landscaping. The great thing with everything being new is that your extension for that, you don't have to worry about repairs super quickly versus getting a home that maybe needs some TLC. And then resale trajectory, knowing what the appreciation value is. I wish we were in a market where the appreciation value was 3 to 4% every single year. Unfortunately, it's not. So being able to talk through that with clients for the general market. And then again, phase and timing. Again, we can talk through that when we have that appointment with you. Okay. So I wrote some questions that we personally ask. We get a little bit more, again, around the lifestyle of the home too, but I thought this would be beneficial for you guys to read through, to maybe ask your clients before you go look at new construction. So I'm not sure, by raise of hands, how many of you have clients that say, I need X, Y, and Z, and it has to have this, and it has to have that, and you're like, I don't have that many options on the MLS to search. I can't search for, you know, your gold chicken coop so you have gold eggs. Those types of things. So we run into the same thing. I want X, Y, and Z, this whole laundry list. So being able to help narrow it down, and we continue to work through that in the model home. So I won't read through all of these here, but these are some good ones that we go through. And as far as like timeline perspective, how long do you think you're going to be in this home? Is it a 5-year plan? Is this your forever home with me being 55 plus, right? What does that trajectory look like? And then what to cover on every floor plan? I wouldn't necessarily think that this is your responsibility. Just understand what the agent is going to go through when you go to a builder. They're going to go through all the structural options, where a window's located, electrical, all of that good stuff. So just know that it's coming. And we get pretty in-depth, but we help guide the process. Okay?
How flexible are you? Like, there's set floor plans for usually for most parcels, so to speak. If you want to move around, would Garmin do that, or are you very strict on where your floor plans are?
It depends. So single family, there's a little bit more leniency. Multifamily, no. So with that, it's already affecting the structure for other buildings.
Right.
And so with that, we typically don't allow those. But for single family, it depends. We have a structural special request policy that we go through to see if Garmin wants to essentially entertain that. Because with that, hey, these trades, they build a home over and over and over again. Higher quality, we start messing with it, it can become a little bit
that's why I'm asking.
cumbersome. Yeah.
Like some builders will and some builders won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that's where we say no first, right? But if it's at the end of the day, this is the only thing that's stopping from saying yes to an agreement, we'll always ask the question. Okay? Great question. All right. We can go to the next one. So from pre-visit prep all the way through the end. So first thing, when you are meeting with your client, you're going over resale versus new construction. If they want to go down the route of new construction, going through some of the things that we talked about today. Hey, just to mentally prepare you, we're going to go look at XYZ communities. Just be prepared. I can either advocate for you, or if you want to speak, they're probably going to ask you about these different things. They just want to confirm, you know, that this is a good fit for you. So don't be surprised if they start asking you these questions. And then community tours, so walking through the different models. We like to do as much as we can on the forefront before we start walking models. Some communities have 12, 15, 20 plus floor plans. You guys don't have time for that. Your clients don't have time for that. That can be cumbersome as well. And so we want to make sure that we can help narrow down to the best 3, 4 floor plans to go over with you guys for floor plan selection, again, presenting 2-3 best fit floor plans. And then from there, we typically do this in multiple phases. Not a lot of buyers are making decisions on the first visit, right? It takes some time. They need to go talk through it, look at different things in the market. And so we're seeing what's called the cycle time. From the time we say, yes, hi, nice to meet you, all the way down to a commitment, it's about 4 to 5 appointments. So sometimes, depending on the community, it's a little bit quicker than that. So this can be broken up between 4 to 5 appointments. So the next one, contract and deposit. Understanding what the deposit guidelines are, every builder is different. So in resale, you're typically, 1% of the purchase price is your earnest money deposit? 1 to 3%, depending on what it is. So some builders are different. So for Garmin, we're currently running a $1,000 deposit incentive. There are stipulations around that. Outside of that, it can be anywhere between a 5 to 10% deposit, depending on the route. So again, just understanding what different builders require for a deposit. Especially if you're working with a VA buyer, I didn't have to put anything down, right? You still have to show your good faith to put down some sort of deposit. So just understand what that looks like. Design center visit, if they choose to build, we have R1 and corporate and Lidditz. Different builders have in different locations. We do not do it as a sales rep. They go to our design studio with our design team as they specialize in that. And then build and follow up. So being present, going to the walkthroughs, our project managers reach out with weekly updates as well. We like to stay connected, all of that good stuff. So for me, I love playing with dirt, especially when it gets built into a home. So I always like to get people involved when I do to-be builds, is what I call them. I have the agent come out, I have the buyers come out, we fill up a jar of dirt, so it's your home site dirt. I say it's the most expensive jar of dirt you'll ever own. It's like Captain Jack Sparrow running with, I got a jar of dirt. So I like to make it super fun throughout the process. When their home is in framing, before drywall goes up, I'll have them come through the sharp, maybe right on the studs of their home, and so forth. So I just love everybody being involved with that there too.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Next slide. All right, we're almost there. So your role essentially with being kind of a trusted partner with this for the builder and your client. So things to do as far as partnering with the builder, making sure that you register every client. We're going to ask for their information. One, it's for kind of our safety to make sure that we have information of people that are walking through. If your clients are very private, we'll take your information instead of registering every client. And then respecting the sales process. The reason that I say this, so you guys will help advocate for your buyer, getting them there, you have their best interests at heart, but we have our sales process, and so us being able to guide them through that sales process just means that everybody works together as a team. And then staying engaged during the build, we've already covered that. And then recommending independent inspections. You guys are probably surprised for me saying this, especially since I work for a builder. It's a new home, but the new home is built with natural materials and by humans. So ChatGPT hasn't figured out how to build homes yet. So until it does, I still always recommend having a party inspection come through towards the end and making sure, that there wasn't nothing missed on our end. We have quality walks all through the entire build process in addition to the county. But at the end of the day, we're again humans and the home is being built with natural materials. So know the contract before they sign. Like I said, we use our builder contract. I would always request to have a contract presentation done by the builder's agent. They know their agreement, they know what's in it, sitting down with you and your client and reading through it. What breaks my heart is when I hear you're the agent, we're paying you commission, you go over it with your client. I think that's a disservice to you guys. I think it's a disservice that we are missing our mark as a builder. So please, if you hear anybody at Garmin say that to you, come talk to me, because I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. You know what your clients are signing, they know what they're signing, and I'm not expecting you guys to be well versed in our builder agreement either. Okay? And then guide upgrade decisions. So this here, they go into the design center, everything's shiny and nice, kind of like going to shop for a new car. We have 2 design center appointments. Connecting with the builder, how many design center appointments do they have, what are the options look like, and so forth, and being able to help guide that decision. The agents on our side, they try to be there as much as they possibly can. Our rule though is we want to make sure people are in the model, so we can't have any dark models. When you guys show up, we want to make sure that there's somebody there, and so with that, we're not always able to attend to help guide those discussions. So I would say get your Pinterest board ready together, and our design team, they're really great with being able to kind of narrow that down. So now you're ready. So you'll schedule a builder tour, which we have on Saturday for you. So that one's already checked. Register your first client, so you guys will work on that, and then close your first deal with us. So every builder too, I would ask them if they have any realtor promotions or programs. Garmin's currently in the works of doing a realtor bonus program to where if you close X amount of homes, you get bonus on X amount of sales. That's still in the works. I've been pushing really hard because we had that in Colorado and I loved it for our realtor partners. So, okay.
That was awesome, thank you.
Yes. I know. I was like, should I fire hose with information or not?
Yes.
So,
Yes,
okay.
that's what I do. By the time they leave, they're probably not.
Where can we find what communities you currently are built, like in the area?
Yep.
Is there a list for that, or?
There is online. Am I able to actually show them on here? Can I navigate our builder website?
Yeah, let me just figure out.
Yes, so if you go online to any builder, so for Garmin, go to garminbuilders.com. There is typically neighborhoods tab, which goes over all the different neighborhoods that that builder is building in, and it's even broken down by counties.
So I can go to the county website and check out the parcel bureaus and stuff like that.
Okay.
Me too. We like.
That's okay. And that's even too to where you're like, hey Morgan, I have a buyer that's looking in this area. We're roughly around this price point. This is what we're thinking. Most of our team is able to help narrow down for you. Hey, it's not with me, but we have Alyssa in this community that I think would be a great fit for you. Yeah.
You build townhomes and single family?
We do.
Yeah.
Yep. Townhomes, we're dabbling in condos. New home stars not representing these condos is with an outside agency, but we have those, and then we have duplexes as well.
So where would you like to navigate?
So if you actually start, so hit the little Garmin on the left-hand side all the way up top. I'll give you guys so then you go to X, that just goes over our incentive. So if you scroll down, keep going. We love dogs too. And then so the neighborhoods tab here on the left-hand side. And so this is going to cover all the different neighborhoods. So we have 22 communities that we're currently selling in. We have our starting prices, and then estimated monthly payments for those. So you're going to see starting price. Keep in mind that this is your base price. By the time that you go through and you finish out, depending on the community, I would budget anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 more than what you see here between the home that they select, the home site that they build on, and options that they put in.
Can I interject from Zoom land? Sarah, is there any way for you to share that with us so we can see that screen a little
That's where I
better?
wanted to take you guys. It's literally 3 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
But they're not ready for that, I guess, up there. That's okay.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It would have
I
been
mean, you
nice.
guys can drive through. We only have one product there. So you guys will actually, if you scroll up, keep going up, we'll look at Autumn Chase. Yep, so we have it all broken out here into 4 different communities, but it's all one neighborhood. So you have Autumn Chase, which is our single family, Autumn Chase duplexes, Autumn Chase estates, which are going to be larger versions of single family, and then Autumn Chase townhomes. So you guys will be able to see 4 different product types on Saturday. Our duplexes, so those were just released at the beginning of the year, and so with that we have our first what we call shell up, so you'll be able to see the actual construction part of it. So we don't have anything finished out there, but our townhomes are pretty built out, same with our estates and same with our singles.
Very good. I've actually, I don't know if you guys, before Rockville started their last phase, I used to go and walk my dog there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful community.
It's like up in the mountain, and if you get to like one corner of it, there's like a hiking trail at the end, and also you can see the Susquehanna River from up there. It's like in the Rockies. It's high. It's really high up there.
It is. Yeah, wintertime it's a little scary going up, but
Yeah.
yeah. It is gorgeous.
There's tons of Amish guys working on it up there.
Oh, yeah.
So rest assured.
And that's the great thing with working with a builder that's been in the market for so many years, is they have great relationships with the trades of the area. So yeah, a lot of Amish that work on our framing and carpentry and even our So,
They're good at it.
absolutely.
You guys have any questions for Morgan?
And I went more into like the psychology and the overall process of it, not necessarily like, hey, this is what you're getting construction-wise with new construction. You'll learn more about that with Melissa on Saturday.
Does you as a builder, do they only do communities, or if somebody buys land and wants a builder to build a house, do you do that as well?
We do, and that's through our renovations department. So we have a whole kind of custom side that's not through us, but we do offer that as a builder.
Okay.
And I would say a lot of builders in the area do as well. Yeah. I would say price point, I would anticipate you're about 10 to 20% higher in price point, and then your timeline, you're going to be extended to probably about a year, year and a half, 2 years of what's being done. It's a little bit slower of a
Because you have
process.
survey the land. do all that
Survey,
stuff, yeah.
utilities, go through and draft up the plans, if it's a custom home, all that kind of stuff.
It's clear.
Mhm. Yeah.
As a realtor, we usually just think about how we can help our clients, but this sounds more like a mediator position that
Okay.
you're in.
Yeah.
So what would help you?
Yeah, that's a great question. What helps us is as much information from the front end, even if there's a personality. Again, we go into a lot of the psychology. Hey, my client's very timid. They just went through a divorce. Kind of here's the situation. Just so we know how to best guide you and your client during that time. So as much information as you're willing to share with us up front. And then when we get in, us asking the questions, kind of letting us guide through that process there. Obviously, still asking questions, advocating for your client. But us being able to drive that process really helps us kind of keep everything in line. Yeah. I know we get that a lot of the newer agents that join us. Hey, like, I know I represent the builder, but I'm also kind of representing the buyer, right? It
Maybe
can,
some kind of in the middle.
you are, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. At the end of the day, our fiduciary duty is to the builder. But with that, the customer service mindset, we want to make sure that we're providing that across the board. And depending on the builder you work with, every builder has their core values. Garmin, there's providing excellence that goes anywhere from their product to people come to the door. So we make sure we do that. Great question. Huh?
I have another one. But with the
She's
buyer.
question.
Yeah,
I
always,
love questions.
Always, sorry.
I'm always one of those where if I leave and nobody asks me questions, I'm like, smart. No, I love
And
it.
I'm not saying that,
No.
like, if there's builders out there that want to bypass the agents.
Yes.
Right? They very easily could.
They could, yeah.
We sign a contract with our buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Do we sign a contract with you as soon as we make a connection between the buyer, or how do you prevent that from happening?
That's a great question. And so you have that. At least for Garmin, I can't speak for every builder, but you need to be the pre-occurring cause to that transaction. So letting your buyers know, hey, we're going to go look at new construction. You need to let them know that you're working with an agent. Here's my information. The reason that I'm saying that is because in order for them to pay my commission, I need to be the pre-occurring cause. If not, then we go back to our agreement. You may be required to pay my commission. So for Garmin, with that, I always say, hey, if we haven't drafted up the agreement, we talked about realtors, we have it in writing that they're not working with the realtor, then later on a realtor comes back, that's a little bit harder of a situation. But hey, we do our due diligence up front, we log notes. A lot of our team, they'll catalog other interactions with the buyer for their notes as well. So I would just say having that conversation up front. We want to make sure that we're building those relationships with you guys, but we don't have anything in, especially
It's not
in
like
writing.
a legal document or
Mhm.
anything that.
Not until you go to actual agreement. So once the buyer says yes to everything, they fill out and they sign the contract. We have what's called that consumer notice.
Right.
So if they're not represented by the agent, we'll include that in the agreement there. If they are represented by the agent, we have our co-op form instead.
Okay.
So that would be the only legal document, but that's not all the way up until agreement. It's a great
Because
question.
I can see that people being out there. That,
It's, yeah,
why not, right? I mean,
Mhm.
from a financial perspective,
yeah.
I can see it happening. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I personally, for me and our team, I make those calls all the time. Hey, I had Sue come in. It was her first appointment. We talked to realtors. She wasn't sure if she was working with a realtor or not. Later comes find out Sue's back in a month later. She has a realtor. Hey, I'd rather us build our realtor relationships. Go ahead, write it through the agreement there, because we haven't started the agreement yet versus before. Yeah, you will run into some builders, and that's where, again, you starting off and you making connections with agents at different builders. That way, if your buyer, hey, oh, I saw Burke's home. Oh, I actually know Andy over there. Let me give him a call, right? That way, you're already making those connections ahead of time. Because unfortunately, those things do happen.
It happened. And I was really mad.
Yeah.
I won't name any names.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't Carmen.
Unfortunately, I did have one in Colorado where I represented a gentleman that went through the whole process. We were under agreement. I had in writing that he wasn't working with an agent, and we were about 3 weeks out closing, and he was under contract with me for about 4 months. An agent reached out to me, hey, I have a buyer's agency agreement. I'm so sorry. The builder won't be responsible for your commission. You're more than welcome to start representing him, but we won't be responsible for your commission. And I do have it in writing that he wasn't represented by an agent. So those things do happen, unfortunately, but yeah, we try to avoid that.
Yeah.
Great question.
So on our end, if that situation would happen, we still have a fiduciary responsibility to help our client, or just do a charity.
Not at that point. You don't have any duty.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that hopefully the new construction industry is kind of evolving that way.
Back in the day, it wasn't.
There are, of course, a few agents out there, representatives, jerk things like that. You just know that ahead of time going into it. So you try to be the first point. It happens. We're trying to stay positive here.
Yeah. Those are great questions as you're walking, through different things and different opportunities too. It's good to know what the risks are involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough market. Everybody deserves their money that they work hard for. So.
We all work hard, but
yes, we do. That we do.
okay.
I have a question on Zoomland.
Yeah, so I did go back through the grouping. I still don't see an address, nor it's on,
I don't see it.
or my calendar.
Yeah.
There's no address on it.
I will double check. I'm pretty sure you're lying to me.
I didn't see one either.
You have to open it usually, if you open that.
Yeah, because like the other one we
Initially,
did,
I
and
always
like
do the same thing.
in with the other one we did in
Yeah.
Duncannon, you know what I mean? When you would add it to the calendar, it would automatically transfer everything over. It just has date and time.
Okay, do we have the address then?
Yes, if you actually scroll down, scroll just a little bit. Oh, go back up. So it's Autumn Chase Townhouse, so if you want to click into that one there, right? Yep. Okay. It is the 2101 South Autumn Chase Drive.
How did I add to
And what time do we?
11.
11 o'clock, okay.
210.
And that's Saturday, right? This.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, 11.
So with that, I recommend wearing walkable shoes just in case you guys walking through some construction site stuff there. Don't wear your nice fancy shoes. Wear something that's a little bit more durable walking through that. Closed covered toe shoes. Don't want any nails or anything poking through you guys.
Those girls at Candler Point wearing like sweaters through the grass. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes, it is one of those. Yeah, that's. We do dress.
Yes, but like it was snowing.
Yeah, that's still our team.
That's what I call brave.
Oh yeah, yeah, Sophia there.
Yeah, Sophia.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, she wears the high ones. I'm like, I'll still wear heels, but you won't see me in anything like that. But
well, yeah, we'll be all have our day, right? So it should be in there, guys. Let me know if you see it. 2101 South Autumn Chase Drive, Harrisburg.
Got it.
All right.
Yep, so you guys will meet with Alyssa, you'll walk through the different product lines, go a little bit over or more into the construction side of new construction, and then from there I have all of my information on the second slide. So if you guys have any questions from today, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help answer them. Even if you have a client that's working, you're not sure where to start with Garmin at least, I could definitely point you in the right direction too.
Awesome. I really appreciate you coming here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anytime.
And all these guys are getting up now.
Okay, there we go. You're welcome. So I'll stop yapping now. I like to get into the nitty gritties of all things new construction, all the way down to the energy efficiency stuff, to payments and what that looks like. So if you guys are curious on how to communicate that to buyers, or when we start going over it, we're not talking alien language to you guys, let me know. I'm more than happy to come back. I was talking with Michael actually on doing kind of multiple parts to new construction because there can be a lot. So I guess just let Sarah know if that's something that you guys want, and I can definitely come. So, or you guys can come out to a community and come see me and hang out for the evening. So.
Yeah, you guys have events all the time too.
We
So
do.
that would be, guys, go and pay attention to their website and see what kind of events they have going, and it's a networking. It's networking.
I do not know. I have everything here. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So we like to have agents come out and view the community. So you guys are going to go see Alyssa. It sounds like that we previously did something at Candler's Point with Sophia. So we always enjoy having people come out for what we call brokerage presentations. So we buy lunch. You guys can come see the model. We go over our offerings. That is very builder specific. Today was just more generally new construction 101. So yeah, if you're curious, and even just walking in, don't feel like you need to have an appointment. And appointments are great to make sure that we're there or present. Sometimes we oversee multiple communities, so we may not always be there when you stop on in. But yeah, feel free to stop on in and check out our stuff and ask questions for our future clients. Wonderful. Thanks, guys. It was nice meeting all of you.